How's it going, everybody? This is probably going to be a noisier what I watched, what am I watching update video. I got a lot of background noise going on, but I wanted to knock this out because I just finished off my 5 movies. So let's start with Sherlock Holmes. The movie itself wasn't the greatest. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. But what I really did like about this movie was the way it was filmed. It was portrayed in London back in the 1800s, and I thought they did an extremely good job with the CGI. The best scene is was towards the end when they were fighting on the London Bridge when it was being built. I thought the camera work on that was outstanding, and all the CGI and stuff for make it look like it was all old time Londonish, and I really like that. And there was a lot more fighting scenes in this movie than I thought there would be for because I know Sherlock Holmes is a detective. I'm not familiar with the book or any of the stories, so I was going into it kind of blind. And I only paid $10 for this movie, and it was a blind buy. So overall, for $10, and as a blind buy, I'm not too disappointed with it. Like I said, it wasn't the greatest movie. It was kind of long, but I liked it. And then we go on to 127 Hours, and I really, really loved this movie. The fact that it was based on a true story, and I ended up watching a lot on this guy named Aaron Rolston. After I watched this movie, it got me. I wanted to look it up, and James Franco depicted him awesomely. I ended up watching this thing. I forget the guy's name, but he's a newscaster with NBC. They did a whole documentary on the guy. And they actually showed some real clip footage of him and when he was actually stuck in the cave with the rock on his arm. And the guy, Aaron Rolston, had a lot of balls. He ended up cutting off his own arm just to get out of this cave. And the way James Franco depicted it, Aaron Franco. No, not Aaron Franco, but Aaron Rolston, the guy that actually did this, was caught in the cave, actually said he felt like he was, watching himself in real time when Franco was depicting him. And this is an awesome movie. I highly recommend it for sure. And then we get into the James Bond flicks. All of a sudden, over the last few weeks, or over the last few days, I should say, I've been really into wanting to see James Bond movies. I have Skyfall, Casino Royale, and Quantum of Solace, which is all Daniel Craig stuff. But I want to go and get further into Bond history. I'm a novice Bond guy. Obviously, I'm just now starting to get into the series, and I wanted to see some of the more famous Bonds because I know Roger Moore and Sean Connery are looked upon as some of the best Bonds of all time, and I wanted to get further into it. So I was watching G4 TV the other night, and this movie came on, Octopussy. And I didn't finish it all, and I didn't catch all the beginning of it. And so I was like, hell of it, I'm going to go buy it because I want to finish it off. And I really, really like this movie. This is probably, out of all the Bond movies I saw, including Dr. No and From Russia with Love, this is probably one of my favorites, including with Skyfall and all the rest of those. This is one of my favorites. I thought this movie was awesome. There's a part in this movie that's just like, man, this is so Bond. It's so cool. He's coming out of this stable where a horse was at, and it was actually a freaking airplane in there, and he comes out in the airplane, and in midair, he ends up running out of gas, and the wings fold up, and he ends up pulling straight up into a gas pump after he comes out of the air, getting away from this missile. And this movie was just awesome, really, really awesome. And I really like Roger Moore as James Bond. I think he's probably my favorite Bond from watching Craig and Connery. I really, really like him. So I'm gonna definitely check out a couple more of his movies. In my next what I'm watching update, it's probably gonna be a lot of Bond movies because I'm really, 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 really into. I want to watch the rest of his stuff. And then I got into Connery. I wanted to see a Connery movie because a guy I work with, he's a guy who watches a lot of movies as well, and he was telling me that to him Bond is Sean Connery. And this is the very first James Bond movie ever, and I loved it. I thought it was awesome. The villain was great. The storyline was great. And for an intro movie into to start off the whole series, even though James Bond actually was a book, and there was actually like a whole series of them. For the intro movie, I could see why this series blew up and they made as many movies as they did. I thought this movie was awesome. I really do like Sean Connery as James Bond. I can see why a lot of people say he's the greatest Bond ever. He's really unlike Daniel Craig, who's more the tough guy Bond. He's more like the suave, swagger, more gentlemanly type Bond. I think he was just awesome. And watching this stuff in the 60s, you know, it was a lot different, the culture and stuff, too. And then From Russia with Love, I actually saw parts of this movie on this thing called Turner Classic Movie. It was probably about 5, 6 years ago, and I ended up turning it off. Of course, then I didn't like movies or anything like that, old movies. You know, I'd go on that station once in a while because they'd play a decent movie from here and then, and I actually just turned this movie off. It's like, you know, and I ended up watching it. I was like, wow, I saw this movie before. But the Bond girl in this movie was smoking hot. I think she was one of the best looking Bond girls I ever saw in the 6 Bond movies I've saw so far, and I really liked it. Another great storyline with it. More great villains. You know, I just really, really liked this one. And I'm going to watch, which puts me on to what I'm going to watch. I'm definitely going to watch Gangs of New York. I just want to knock that out because I bought it and it's just been sitting on my shelf. I don't want to keep knocking it off, pushing it down. But I'm definitely going to watch more Bond movies. I'm going to watch Goldfinger, The Spy Who Loved Me, and a couple other ones. Right now, I'm trying to knock out I'm trying to watch the most famous Bond movies from like certain ones, like the Connery ones and the Moore ones. And then after I'm done with the most famous ones of those, because each one of those guys has a couple of movies that aren't that great, I've read, that towards the end of their Bond careers. And then I'm going to move into Pierce Bronson's movies after that and watch those ones, because I think he only had like 3 Bond flicks or 4 Bond flicks. He wasn't Bond that long. So I'm going to move into those after that, but definitely I'm going to watch Goldfinger, probably The Spy Who Loved Me, Diamonds Are Forever, I'll probably watch that too, and I'm definitely going to watch what the hell that movie's called? Gangs of New York is what it's called, yeah. So that's what's coming up, and another thing about my channel, the frequencies of the videos is going to go down a little bit. For me, it's definitely baseball first. You know, I run my baseball channel, Justin Verlander 35, and I keep up with that really a lot. And once baseball comes around, you know, I probably watch, including Tigers games, I probably watch about 250 games a year. So that's a full-time thing for me because I write about baseball on a website. You know, I do my baseball videos. So right now, it's a bit of downtime, but the season starts in 12 days. And once that comes around, I'm probably only watching a movie every few days or so. So these movies and Blu-ray updates are going to slow down a little bit, especially Blu-ray updates. I got a nice Blu-ray update right now. I kind of spoiled some of it, but Friday, I'll show the rest of the movies I got off because I kind of spoiled it a little bit now, but I just wanted to knock this video out. So that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks again to everyone. Subscribe, comment, like, subscribe, and if you're a Bond fan and you have a lot of experience watching the movies, please throw me some suggestions. I'll watch just about any Bond movie because I'm really into them right now, and that's what I want to watch. Have a good one, guys.